Hey, Warrior Saints, Father Chris here. Happy New Year, and welcome to our Crucifixional live stream. Glad to have you beautiful people with us today as we are in the second day of this beautiful 2024. Hope that the holiday yesterday was good, safe for everyone, and that 24 is awesome for all of you. I hope it rocks. You know, we are often really almost always all of us use the new year as a marker, right? We set resolutions, we want to try new things, we want to better our lives, all that kind of stuff. And I'm gonna go in that down that direction, but going backwards a step to reflect on Greg's lesson from last week, where he was talking about in marriage and hearing and listening. And excuse me, we got so many great and positive comments on that, especially the little, what did you call it? It wasn't a game, but it was like an exercise for couples to do to work things together. They're like, this is great, we need more. So we have decided we're going to take, well, we meaning Greg is going to take Greg's marriage lessons, all of his premarital counseling and classes, and put it together. We're going to film a series for you, and it will be on the Way of the Warrior Saint here at warriorsaints.org. We're working on it. It's coming, but I'm telling you, it's great stuff. So I gave him more to do. That being said, he was talking about how within the confines of the marital relationship, that listening has to be, a key thing. Obviously, and he says communication has to be, he teaches it right before he gets into conflict resolution, right? Great stuff. And it triggered in my head, all right, we don't listen well, some of us. Some of us talk a lot, right? And some of us, I've said it to you before, I don't think to speak. I speak to think, right? So as I'm talking, I'm processing ideas. I'm just doing it out loud, and everybody that around me just has to deal with it. All right, so how do we overcome that kind of stuff, right? We have to have a different mentality to be that one, and not everyone's like this, but for those of us that are the dominant ones in conversation, that just barrel our way through and try to overtake every single conversation, we must be quick to hear. Listen to these words. This is from the Epistle to James in chapter 1. We hear, "Know this, my beloved brethren, let every man be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger." And then he goes on to talk about anger. But the first part of it, quick to hear, slow to speak. And it's one of those tasks that we, when we're in a conversation with another person, it is more important for us to make them more important than us. Does that make sense? Did I say that well? The idea is, I like to use this, little practical point I'll throw out there too. For every story I tell, I need to let them tell too. See it? So in other words, as I'm listening to somebody, it's more important that they are the ones that communicate. You don't want to be never telling your own stuff, because then it kind of gets creepy, but let one for two. The other thing I found that really, really is helpful, and it's taken me a long time to learn it, and throughout my early years of my ministry, I wasn't good at it. Because, I love my people and I want to solve their problems, and they start talking and they tell me their problem, and I immediately jump in with the solution. What I'm finding lately more and more is that most of the time, I don't even need to say a word. I can tell you that in the last few months probably in the last few months, I've had, counseling with some of my spiritual children, visiting with them, where they've come in and I have said hello and nothing else until goodbye. And then just in the midst of the 30, 40, 60-minute conversation, as they walk themselves through it, they also solve it. Right? Sometimes it's not even about finding a solution. This is more seems to me more often with women. They just need someone to listen so they can get it off their chest and get it out. And sometimes have had conversations with our beautiful gals, and guys too, but it's more gals, where they just talk. I say nothing, and at the end, "Thank you so much, Father, for listening. I just needed to get it out." Right? I'm like, oh, so maybe James was onto something with this. Be quick to hear. All of that to say, listening is an art. It's not something that many people are born, ex utero being very good at. It takes a lot of work, a lot of practice. You got to have some understanding and some knowledge. We have put together a 6-part battle plan, which we talk about and refer to often. You can find it at warriorsaints.org. And in the battle plan, one of the things that we talk about, one of the components, one of the 6 parts of the human body we go after is the heart, which is not about the organ as much as it is our relationships. And in that module, there is a section dedicated just to listen, giving you implementable tools to help you be quick to hear and slower to speak. Love you, beautiful people. We'll be back tomorrow. I think Greg's going to lead us tomorrow. As always, keep walking on the way of the warrior saint.